Just 10 cents a day helps fund local programs like Scenic Stops, Northwest Ohio Journal, and BGSU Brain Game. Watch, connect, explore.
Fire in a hole. When I was a kid, I always liked blowing up stuff, and I started playing around with black powder and stuff when I was pretty small. I bought a foundry from one of my friends that made cannons. That's what got me started, because he made them for me. And then I just kept wanting more and more and bigger cannons, and then I ended up buying the foundry from him. And I just started experimenting. I had no idea, and I just started playing. That's when I still had a real job. And I did this in the evenings and on weekends. I cast and started playing with it and, you know, learn hands-on. I'm kind of a type of person. I don't like books very well. So I figured it out on the fly. Why we built the whole foundry here was I used to sell cannons, and most of your foundries now just cast everything horizontally. And that's why I started with this no-bake system, because you can make a solid mold that you can handle. And the way they did it back in the Revolution, French Indian War, was they cast everything vertical. When you pour it vertical, your bronze goes in, all your impurities will float to the top. Well, basic principle there, when we cast the bronze barrel, we pour right down the muzzle, it fills up, the impurities flow out, and as the metal fills that cavity, it packs the molecules. So where you need to strengthen your cannons in the breech, where your pressure or your powder is floating to send your projectile out. So with doing that, it's cast solid, where you got your strengths in the breech, and then we cut the deadhead off of it, and we take it over, and then we end up building a machine shop, because we like things done a certain way, so I ended up buying a bunch of tools and machinery. So we've started doing all of our own machining now. What I mainly specialize in is big bronze cannon barrels. This is a full-scale replica of a Revolutionary War 6-pounder. Full bore, full size. It's right around 700 pounds. This is a cannon, okay? This is a gang mold. I've got 4 barrels in here. All right, we lay that in here, put the cope and the drag together. We would take the sand, silica sand, put it in the mixer. Then I take the resin and the hardener, mix it up, and then we dump it in here, and then we would ram that up. Once it sets up in about 20 minutes, you flip it over and you ram the other side. This is a finished product. See that? And then we put them together like that, and then we just stand it up, clamp it together, and I pour it right from the top. And then it fills all the barrels, 1, 2, 3, 4. It would go down, then it shoots off here, fills up each barrel vertical, and that's the principle of using the no-bake. We glue little letters on them. I do a lot of custom cannons for people if they want them for awards, for gifts, or whatever. We do them for the park services. Put in Base sells my cannons in their gift shop. So when I do a movie, I usually put the name of the movie on them. We sell them as gifts to the crew. So it works out really well. And then that mold I showed you just a minute ago that had the 3 barrels on it, well, this is a cannon right there, Old Betsy. It's not shined up, it's not bored, but it's ready to go to the lathe. I started doing, reenacting, and started building cannon carriages and that. And then I started getting horses to start doing horse-drawn artillery, because I couldn't stop with just cannons, a little over-aggressive. And then I just started doing little documentaries. The Confederate Yankee fire at the Johnson's Island Cemetery. We did a Tom Koba. He's passed away now, but he produced a couple small shows for Johnson's Island, and well, then from there we went to bigger shows. I started working at Antietam, documentaries there, visitor center videos, Gettysburg, Antietam. Then Gods and Generals called, and I went to Gods and Generals up in my first big motion picture, and it just took off. They gave me a part one time to speak, and I don't like to memorize all that, because I'm usually getting stuff ready and shooting stuff and horses and all that, and then they want me to memorize lines. Well, that's not a priority. I never liked that very much. I can talk a lot, but I don't like to do lines and stuff. So I'd rather be in the background, because once they start doing a scene, if you're locked in, you're stuck. They move the cameras around you all day long doing the same scene. So I try not to get into that stuff. I like moving around all the time, and don't like to be tied down where you're locked into a certain spot when they start shooting a scene. So I gave up my real job, and I just do this full time now. Make cannons, travel all over. Fire in a hole.
Scenic Stops is brought to you by WBGU-TV. Support great local programming by giving now at wbgu.org/pledge.